Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to LaserBeam Live. This is episode number 12. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. First, let's go into the chat. I feel like that's the first thing we should do. Let's go into the chat. Koala carving, always the first person in the chat. Good evening. Sean, thanks for joining. P. Noel, Bill, what's up? Doug, good evening to you. Guys, you know how we're going to start the stream. Can you hear me? We have upgraded our mic to a very fancy DJI wireless lav mic. I even got the little fuzzy bit on there. Hopefully that'll stop some of the fan noise from coming in and interrupting. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully my voice is crystal clear. Let me know if the stream is lagging. That's how we start every stream. Make sure that we're good. Make sure you can hear me. Make sure you can see me. Bill says, excellent. That's good to hear. We did some tests today, and yeah, it was the microphone was really good. The only thing I'm a little bit scared of is because it's such a powerful and sensitive microphone, I'm hoping that we don't pick up too much of the driver fan, and hopefully that doesn't muddle anything. Brian, thank you for joining us. Rolls. Is that how you pronounce it? Rolls. Thank you for joining us. Jeffrey, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for joining us. What are we doing today? So, Jack, Jills, thank you for the feedback and thank you for joining us. So last stream, when we were doing glass on the rotary, we were playing with the idea of coating the surface with something so that the laser can actually absorb into the material. So materials that we've classically said are not good for being lasered with the diode laser, like glass, like clear acrylic, like metals. We started playing with the idea of painting and engraving. Well, Jack hopefully joins us tonight, our resident laser expert. Not an expert, but he has tons of lasers. He has the fiber, he has the CO2, he has the diode. But he told me to try out a company called Brilliance Laser Ink. This is not a plug. This is not a sponsorship, nothing like that. He just threw it out there. And this, just kind of like the acrylic paint on the glass, allows, well, hopefully, that's what we're hoping today, allows for the laser to absorb onto the metal. And hopefully we can mark some stuff up and we can engrave some stuff. Ruben, thanks for joining. So that's what we're doing today. I got a little bit of brass, some scrap that was hanging around the shop, and I got a little bit of steel. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact, grade of the steel or the brass, or if it's an alloy or anything, but I cleaned it up, gave it a wash, like most things when you're working. Nicholas, thanks for joining us. Don't worry about being late. Like most things that, you're engraving or you're working with, you always want to clean it. Dave, thanks for joining us. So first I did just a little bit of soap and some water and I cleaned it up. And then I did some alcohol, some isopropyl alcohol, cleaned it up, make sure there's no dirt, there's no grime that's going to interact with the laser or the laser metal spray. Then I did a few streaks of just shook it up and gave it some streaks. Tried to get it as even as possible. Obviously it's not going to be perfect, but I tried to get as even as possible. And today we're going to be trying to engrave it. So that's what we're doing. We're going to try to do the brass. We're going to try to do the steel. And hopefully this will open some things up. As for next stream, I think we will be playing with some anodized aluminum and maybe even some anodized steel. We'll see. We'll be trying to strip the anodization essentially to reveal the metal and make a cool little effect, which a lot of products do, where you're not actually engraving on the metal, you're more engraving away the anodization in order to kind of show the metal, and it's a really cool effect. Bob, thanks for joining us. George, thanks for joining us. Hello, good evening, wherever you are, whether it's evening, afternoon, or night. I appreciate you joining us. This is, again, LaserBeam Live number 12. One more stream, and we hit half a year, 6 months. John, thank you for joining us. That's a very big milestone. When we first started the stream, myself, Andy, and the marketing team, the one thing that they stressed was consistency. Charles, thank you for joining us. What's up? And that's what I tried to do. I tried to keep things consistent. Even if I didn't have some world-shattering project to do, I tried to just hop on the stream and keep things consistent. And I'm glad I did because, you know, I think we've grown kind of a community here. I have a blast doing it. We learn, we mess up, we try new things, and that is the whole point of this stream. I am not a master. And I'm guessing most of you guys aren't. So, you know, we just kind of go through the workflow and figure things out. We Google, we find, we talk to people who know more than us or know less, and we get ideas and we play with things. So I'm excited to play with this because I think there's some cool projects you guys will be able to do. This is very expensive. I'm going to say right off the bat, I think this can itself, and it's a 12 ounce, the net weight, 12 ounces, or for, yeah, 12 ounces. It's no milliliters because I'm guessing it's an American company. But it was about like a little over $100, $120, $115. So there's not like a prerequisite. Nobody has to buy this. No, I'm not plugging them or anything. We're just gonna play with it, see if it's nice. And if you can think of some cool ideas, some cool projects to use this for, then, you know, hopefully you guys can share them with us, and hopefully we get to kind of see the whole, you know, view of what people can create with different methods, different tools, different materials. And hopefully this just opens up another kind of section of materials that we can actually play with. So that is kind of the spiel. If I really, really like this spray, I will try to find a supplier for those and try to get more of a bulk deal on them, try to get a more reasonably priced, because $120 for a can is a lot, and honestly a little bit too much. But if it's something that I really enjoy playing with and you guys really enjoy it and you guys end up, you know, buying it yourselves, then we could go look into finding a supplier and offering it on the shop, you know, if it's going to be beneficial to you guys and if you guys really want it. And if I really enjoy it, and hopefully you guys can kind of enjoy it as well. So yeah, that's kind of my spiel. Company news. I know I like to do a little company news. Nothing too big. Nothing too big. We are just working on chopping down the queue. You guys are amazing. You guys are putting in orders. We are just trying to chop down the queue and get the lead times as low as possible. As for the laser, currently we had a 4 to 6 week lead time. We almost never go that far into the lead time. Sometimes we do. That's why we keep it there, because we never want to kind of go back on our word. We would rather under promise and over deliver. But recently we had fans and we had connectors and we had switches and key locks come in. Those were kind of our bottleneck. So we will start shipping out the queue. I believe there's about 20, 30 orders in the queue right now. We will get to you guys. Hopefully we'll finish that out by the end of the week, and then we can lower the lead times and go back to the regular, you know, 2 to 4 week, and then you actually get it in about a week or two. So that's really the company update. I know somebody in the chat earlier said that they were hoping to get a sneak peek of the Chuck rotary. Unfortunately, I'm not part of that product development. I see the updates every day in the office, but when they are ready, they will release updates to the blog. They'll make videos, they'll make posts, they'll post pages on the website. So when they're ready, when they're at a point where they're ready to kind of share that information with you, they will, and they'll try to set something up so you guys kind of get that immersive experience in terms of what it can do and just seeing what it's all about and seeing what we're ready to offer to you guys. So unfortunately, I will have to let you guys down there. We do not have a Chuck style update here. So, you know, they're working hard. Engineers are working hard. Everybody's working hard to kind of get that pushing forward. I'm doing the same with the laser roller rotary axis, but no updates for that right now. We're still working. So today we're going back to just the regular, no rotary axis. We're just going to be lasering some flat metal. Hopefully this works. The can says it's made for CO2 and fiber lasers, and it might be good for high-powered diode lasers, but I've been watching videos online, and people seem to have some success using that with mid to high level diode lasers. So hopefully we get some good results, and if we don't, that's just the name of the game. We try things out. All right. Who's ready to get started? Who wants to just jump right in? You guys want me to keep talking? You know, if you guys enjoy my voice so much, I can keep talking for a little bit more. If you guys are sick and tired of hearing me, then we could just jump right into Lightburn and we could start making our first test engraving. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Oh, keep talking. Okay, I can talk forever. What do you guys want to talk about? We can talk about, you know, just about anything. Dana, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Dana just put out some really cool content. I see the laser stuff you're doing. I see your DIY exhaust system that you got going. That's awesome. Let's play with some Lightburn, guys. All right, so we are going to just be doing some text. I want to see text and line work. Yeah, Nicholas, yeah, we got a new mic. It's the DJI wireless mic. It's a wireless lav mic, has amazing range, and we tested it early and it had amazing quality. Hopefully you guys are kind of getting that on your side. Hopefully you guys are feeling the better quality. I reviewed the recording of last stream, and it sounded like I was like an air traffic controller. Like there was so much like I don't even know what to describe it. I'm not an audiophile, but there was just so much graininess in the voice. It just didn't sound that well. You know, we've been switching up the audio for the past like 3 weeks, but I think we finally found a solution, a high quality wireless lav mic by DJI. So yeah, so what I want to actually test is I want to see the line work and I want to see the engraving. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a fill text, and then I'm going to be putting a box around it so that I can see the engraving on lines and how it fills. And then we're going to try to dial in the power setting on the brass, and then we're going to do the same thing on the steel if we have enough time. If not, we can always just start do the steel next time, and then we'll play with some anodized aluminum hopefully next time. And yeah, so that's kind of the plan. So I want to start out with some text. And I just want to do something simple. Trying to be, I don't want to just put test. That's boring. I feel like whenever I can't think of something, I just use text. So what should we make this? What should the text be? Any ideas in the chat? What should I put for the text? These are very low stakes, guys. Low stakes here. If I can't think of anything, I'm just putting test. Dave says text burn. John says great day. Jeffrey says CNC laser. Josh is the winner. We're going with the company name. I am a company shill. CNC. I'm sorry, guys. I got to rep the company. Oh, we could do some. Unfortunately, Valentine's Day is going to come right before our stream, or else I would just have a Valentine's Day stream and we can make some cool projects using that. So I'm going to put a box around it. Oh, we don't want that. We need to switch this to line. I need to switch the colors here. So the box, we need to switch up that color so we can switch it to line. And then we can use the text and switch that to fill. So should be able to just orient that. And then I want to line it all up to the middle. So we're going to be using this align tool, align things vertically center. And then I'm going to be selecting the entire thing. And we will put the coordinates as 0, 0, so it starts at the very bottom. It's nice and easy. Wherever we set our 0 point on G center edge, that's where our 0 is going to be. And then our size here, we have 84 by 25. I think I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. Let's go with, because we don't know how long this is going to take. It might take a little while, so we want to have a couple chances on this without having to respray. So 50 millimeters by 20 millimeters with a box around it. I like that. Maybe we can make the text a little bit bold. Okay, perfect. I like that. So we're going to be able to get to see the fill. And we're going to be able to get to see the line work. So that is our goal. So let's figure out what we want our power settings to be, guys. I usually like to start things out as the same power setting that I'm using. Yeah, my air assist is off, only because I really only use air assist for cutting when I want to get that extra little bit, or when I want to kind of clean things up on the top, although it can, when engraving, add a little bit of shadowing. So usually if I'm sanding the top, I'll use air assist, or if I'm cutting and I want to use less passes, you know, faster speed, I'll use air assist. But most of the time, I like to just throw the laser on and just run the job. So guys, this is the normal setting I would use for any type of wood where I'm looking for a dark engraving, but this is metal. So I do kind of believe that a lower speed would be better for this. I want as much power as possible, but I do believe a lower speed might just give us a better result. So, you know, and if it doesn't, we'll try again with different speeds. So I'm going with 10 millimeters per second. If you have yours in millimeters per minute or inches per second or inches per minute, then you can do the conversion so you can match up the speed that I have here. So that's what I'm going with. I'm gonna go ahead and save the G code. Let's call this metal test 1. All right, let's load our file in GSender Edge. Again, I'm using GSender Edge. You can check that out. It has more experimental features. Honestly, it's a better experience for laser jobs, and then eventually they will kind of merge a lot of the features in GSender Edge into the main GSender build. We have an issue here. What was my issue? I forgot to turn off air assist. So we were playing with air assist, or sorry, not air assist, rotary. So we were playing with the rotary a while ago for the past couple weeks. So it's been on and it saved that setting, but I need to turn it off or it's gonna think that it needs to go around. It's gonna take the conversions from the millimeters per rotation, and it's gonna do some funky stuff. So I have to disable rotary axis, which is right down here at the bottom here, right under the home button, or when you go into laser tools and rotary setup, you can disable it or enable it right here. So that's just for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and save it again. I'm going to just save it on old type, and so it should replace it. And now when we put it back in GSender Edge, it should appear normal in the visualizer, just like that. Okay, so we have everything zeroed. Should be focused. Switch over so you guys can see here. So I'm gonna be turning on my driver. I'm on dip switch 1. So guys, how's the noise here? How's the noise with the driver? This is a new mic, so we're testing it out. So let me know if this is like too distracting and we can figure something else out, but you know, not bad. All good? Still hear me? No problem. All right, thanks for the feedback. So guys, you know, always wear your laser safety glasses. Like I say every week or every 2 weeks, no job is worth your eyesight, no matter how cool the project is. So I'm just gonna align this. I'm just gonna try to align this by eye. And then I'm gonna throw on the laser test. Oh, so we're a little bit off. And we're just a tiny bit off, so I'm just gonna lower that to 1 millimeter. And we should be all good now. All right, awesome. I am going to zero everything here our new start point. I'm at the right focus height. My lens itself is focused. This is the G2 lens. I always use the G2 lens because the stock lens, it's versatile, it has the most efficiency, so it's good for cutting, and it has a pretty small beam size, not as small as the G7, 8, and the 3 element, but good enough that we can get some good engraving here. I'm not really doing too much detail work here, just some filled text and some on the line. So let's start this up. Everything's zeroed, code is on, driver's on. Just gonna make sure my fans are good, and we are ready to start the job. So I'll switch the view so you guys can take a look. So this product will actually make the metal spray or the engraving black. I'm not sure if they have other colors. I imagine they do, but you can see that white layer that's painted on, the brass. And the outcome should be a black engraving. So that's kind of what we're looking for there. So it's a black Brilliance Laser Ink, that's the company, and the product is black metal laser spray. It's an aerosol spray, just for your reference. But other brands make other types, and if I'm being honest, I would probably look for a cheaper brand. And unless the quality is really suffering, I would probably go for that. You guys, so far I can see the black text appearing, but we really don't know until we wipe down the surface and we actually see, and then we don't truly know how good the engraving is until we try to scratch it a little bit and we try to remove some of it. So, because obviously, you know, we don't want the marking to disappear if you like brush against something. And certain settings are going to get better outcomes in terms of how long your engraving will actually stay crisp and clean and look very nice. So that's kind of what we're trying to dial in. So the settings I have right now are working fine, but the real test is after we wipe it all down and we try to see how easy it is for it to scrape off. Because I could wipe it down and then everything smudges and the lines aren't clean. That's not too useful for projects, you know. But we're gonna try a few different power settings. So I'm gonna try to wipe it down when I'm done. And then I'm just gonna go side by side and do a few projects at a few different settings to see what happens. And then afterwards, I'll give it a nice clean wipe down. We can look at the results and we'll see what we like, what we don't like. And then I'll switch over to the steel. We'll do the same thing for that. And then we'll call it a night, guys. I don't wanna take up too much of your time. I'm already glad that you guys are joining me. You guys are chatting with me in the chat, and you guys are willing to spend an hour with me. And you know, when we have larger projects, we definitely will go for longer streams, but we should wrap this up in about 40, 50 minutes. So, all right, so while we wait for this to be done, we're about 30% in, should only take another 10 minutes according to G-Sender's estimator. How are you guys doing, guys? How are you guys doing in the chat? Let me know if you guys have any questions, or if you guys just have a topic that you guys want to bring up and have a conversation in the chat. Let me know. Because as hypnotic as the laser is, just moving back and forth at a very slow speed, that might not be the most entertaining thing. So if you got something on your mind, now is the time to share it. All right, I'm going to switch over to this view. So you guys can see the G-Sender Edge Visualizer shows a lot more detail than the regular G-Sender. But again, there will be a point where these features get merged into the main G-Sender software once all the testing is done and once they can reliably merge it. So for the next one, I kind of want to go up. So this was, oh, so Bill had a comment above about smoke extraction. So Bill got a smoke extraction hooked up, nothing fancy. He installed an Infinity Cloudline S4 with 10 speeds. The inlet is reduced to 2 inches. It works best at a setting of 3 to 5. 10 is too fast, surprised me. That's just cool stuff. Jill's, no, the roller is not released yet. We will be releasing it. My goal is to release it around April for pre-order, and then ship no later than end of April. So Dave, the Lightburn cannot be used for the router. Yeah, this is just going to be for laser software. It does not do G-code for the router. For that, you're going to need softwares like Vectric, Carveco. I think Inventables has their thing, Easel and Easel Pro. I'm getting to be a bigger fan of the air assist. Burns have been falling off lately, and discovered lens was junked up with residue. Yeah, so that is another reason why we use the air assist. So it does help keep your lens clean because it's blowing away the particulate instead of rising into your lens and creating more particulate and gunk and all that stuff that you will have to clean. So that's another benefit of using the air assist, is it will keep your lens clean, and it'll also keep your aluminum assembly clean. It'll also help keep the fan from gucking up after a while. It'll just push that down the road a lot longer. So, definitely positives to using the air assist here. How is the burn looking? So yeah, Bill, that's really cool. I just saw your message about the air assist. That's really cool. I do want to do, or sorry, not the air assist, the fume extraction system. I do want to make a very simple and affordable fume extraction system that just hooks on to your dust shoe mount with an inline fan and some ducting, so that you can take that outside and you guys can choose how long the ducting is for your needs. So for the router, people really love Vectric, but it is expensive. But if you're new, we have a whole software section for you to help make that decision based on your specific needs. So if you go to Longmill and then you go to software and then you go to choosing software, I'll show you that on the screen right here. First, we have Scott, our resident content creator, awesome guy. He talks about different softwares. And then we also have the toolchain wizard, where you can put in what you need from your software. If you want paid or free options, and it will actually take you through all the things you need, and it will show you all the different softwares you need. We have a software table, so if you just want to see what's available, you can kind of see what's available, see what it's used for, and check out the details based on it. Whether it's a CAD, whether it's a CAM, whether it's a machine interface, whether it's all three, whether it's 2 out of the 3, you're going to be able to use this. But if you use the choosing software widget in the research section under software, you're going to be able to plug in everything in, and it's going to shoot out some recommendations based on exactly what you need from your Longmill. So definitely check that out for software. D&D Bryant. Yes, we have been thinking about it. Some people are stacking 3, 4, 5 lasers to get 10, 20, 30 watts out of a diode laser. Me personally, I would like to make a CO2 laser. And I know a lot of people want different things, but I think a CO2 laser is the way to go for more powerful laser use. If you just want to buy your Longmill and have some laser accessory work, then the diode works fine, 7 watts is fine. But I think for people who really do love lasers, really passionate about laser work, which I am, I think offering a CO2 laser is the best route for this company. And we're talking internally. And we love to prototype stuff and release new stuff. It will be a more intensive product development, but I believe a lot of the other engineers are excited for something like that, and we will just have to see how it goes. But yes, that is where I'm leaning. That doesn't mean that one day we might put out a 20-watt diode laser. It just means like that's where my head is leaning. I do want to offer more powerful laser systems, but my head is leaning towards CO2 laser options. Yeah, Dave. So, Vectric is kind of that software because they do have the laser module add-on. I'm currently talking to Vectric, and they are, they don't sell the laser module add-on to vendors like us yet, but they are working through that, and they might offer that in the future. So hopefully in the future, if it works out for us and it works out for them, you'll be able to just purchase Vectric from our website and also Vectric laser module. But if you do want it all-encompassing, all-in-one software, you can definitely check out Vectric, and you can definitely check out the Vectric laser module, and then you have everything in one software, other than a machine interface, of course. But that's why we made G-Sender and G-Sender Edge. They're the best machine interface on the market right now. So Jim asks, what is the status of the 4th axis CNC product? So both the laser 4th axis, which is going to be cheaper, smaller, and for the laser use, and the chuck style 4th axis, which is going to be more expensive and more intensive, more robust for the router use. We are both are being prototyped right now. Both are being designed internally and parts, and I believe we'll be able to source in a month or two, and then we'll be able to kind of start the pre-order process and hopefully ship before the summer. That's definitely my goal. But they kind of have their own. They're a separate product, the chuck style laser. I'm going to try to align things with them so that we can, provide the offering at the same time. But I don't want to make any promises that they have to uphold, because they have their own schedule, they have their own workload, they have their own design process. So I don't want to kind of push them in a position where I say one thing and they say another. For me, I would like to release and have things start shipping May at the latest. So it is all finished. Doesn't look too great. The text looks great, but the border does not look too great, if I'm being honest. Let me zoom up on this so you guys can take a look. As you can see, we got the text there. You can see it in black. The real test, though, is how permanent is this? How easy is it to scratch? Will it wipe off if I add a bit of alcohol and wipe it down with a shop towel? Will it scratch off? So that is the real. So I'm going to be trying 25 millimeters per second for this second file. So I'm going to run it again at 25. So metal test 2, 25 S for speed, or millimeters per second for speed. Let's just throw that up, refocus everything, and let's run that again. Again, I'm going to be doing 3 different versions, and then I'm going to wipe it off. I'm going to wipe it off after, just for speed, and then we can see our results afterwards. So first, I'm just going to move this over. So I just need to get a little bit past the edge. So that looks good to me. Focus it up a little bit. Right starting point. All right, that's a good distance away, so I'm going to zero everything again. I'm going to load up the new code. So this is a faster speed. This is 25 millimeters per second. We're going to see the results there. And then I'm going to test 5 millimeters per second, the slowest out of all 3. and then we'll give it a wipe down, and we'll see which one holds up. I'm gonna be using a knife to kind of scrape at it and see how easily it scrapes. Obviously, we're gonna be wiping it down with some alcohol to really see the results, and then we're gonna be doing a little bit of scraping to make sure that we're not just, we're not making anything too flimsy there, or else this was very expensive. So I don't wanna play with anything that's gonna get you guys some, subpar results. Obviously, we could spend even more time lining up settings and things like that, but I think I'm giving it a pretty wide range with the 3 speeds, 5 millimeters, or first one was 10 millimeters per second, second one is 25 millimeters per second, and the last one's going to be 5 millimeters per second. I feel like at one of those speeds, we should be able to see how things are sticking to the metal and see where we want to go forward if we wanted to kind of perfect this type of job. So let me just double check, make sure I didn't miss any of your comments in the chat. So D&D, we talked about CO2 laser. So I think by next year, we'll either be doing a multi-diode laser or a CO2 laser. We'll at least have started product development on one of those. So definitely a more powerful laser in the future. Jim asked, what is the status of the 4th axis? So the chuck style 4th axis, the engineers are working on that. The team is working on that right now. I'm currently working on the laser roller for rotary axis. That's for the laser. It's going to be a lot cheaper. We're both developing right now. Both teams are kind of developing right now. And I hope to ship some rotary axis rollers out by May at the latest. But we all know, if you've ever been a part of product development, you just never really know. That's why I'm not really promising anything. And they're a whole separate team. So they will release blog posts. They'll make videos for the YouTube channel or the Instagram or the weekly newsletter to update you on that. I don't want to give any updates unless they're personally giving them to me. Koala, you know better than that. We are not that type of company. We would never start developing something today to release to you next year. So Jill says, interested to see how the brass engraving turns out. If it is good, then it could be used to create dies for foil stamping onto wood. I'm not sure how great it would be to create dies, because realistically, you're not really engraving the metal with the spray. You're essentially adding a spray, and then the heat is what's like kind of essentially merging it to the metal. So I don't think there's going to be like really an indenting process there. I think it's just going to be more of like, wherever the heat lands, that's where like the ink is going to stay. And it might actually be a little bit raised because of the ink. I don't think it should be like too crazy, but I don't think it's going to really indent. So, but I'm not sure what type of project you're talking about, foil stamping. I'm not too familiar with that, so I don't want to kind of put that out there and get your hopes up because you're not actually engraving the metal. You still do need a fiber laser to truly engrave metal. What this is almost like putting a layer of ink on it, and the heat kind of causes the ink to adhere to the metal, right? So is there going to be a pre-order? So yeah, I do believe we'll do a pre-order. Yeah, we don't like to do too long of lead times. I think I learned my lesson with the original laser release where, because we put pre-orders so early in order to kind of gauge interest, but then the product development ended up taking like 7 more months from the pre-order. So I do believe we'll start to we'll make pre-orders available once we're around like 4 to 6 weeks out from actually shipping. So pre-orders shouldn't be like too long or too out of the way from actually getting your rotary axis shipped out. Again, I don't want to make any promises for the chuck style rotary axis. That's a whole nother team. And yeah, I don't want to make those types of promises for them. They will come out with updates via the website blog posts or the weekly updates via email or videos on the YouTube or Instagram page. So that looks pretty good, but again, not sure how well it's stuck. So now let's go super slow, and then maybe even we can do one super fast. So this time, let's do 5. So let's do 5 millimeters per second. That's half our original and much slower than we just ran it. So let's save that G code. Metal test, and it's only a couple millimeters thick. This one is the brass. This one is the brass, and honestly, I'm not too sure what quality of brass it is. It was just some metal that was lying around the shop. So yeah, I'm not able to tell you the exact type of brass this is, and with the steel, I'm not able to tell you the exact type of steel it is, honestly, because, you know, we just have materials laying around the shop, and I was able to find some for testing today. But again, if we're getting great results, I'll start to play with metal a lot more, and, you know, I'll hit up the metal supermarket and we'll figure that out. I'll tell you exactly, if we like the results today, I can play with more metal, and then we can kind of figure that out. So we're moving this over, going to shine the laser test. I'm going to give it a little bit more space. There we go. I'm going to zero everything here. This is 5 millimeters per second. So we should get much slower speeds here. Oh, Jills, I'm so jealous. I came here while there was a flurry of snow. I think tonight is going to be -19 here in Ontario. We're getting -19 on a bunch of snow, and tomorrow is gonna be, yeah, with a wind chill -32, and tomorrow is gonna be an extreme cold alert with with temperatures of above or below -30 degrees Celsius. So I'm very jealous. 36 degrees Celsius, that's amazing. Well, amazing, or, you know, depending on what the average is, very, very concerning with global warming. But, you know, let's not get into that. This is a fun stream. We don't want to think about all that sad stuff. Oh, Ohio's going sub-zero. That's Fahrenheit, right? That's very cold, I'm pretty sure. You guys are living a very similar life to us. You guys get a bunch of snow sometimes. I believe in Ohio, you guys are pretty close to the border, not too far. Dana's heading to Florida in a week. My man, very, very lucky. Very, very lucky. I'm very jealous, you know. I would love to enjoy some sun right now. Yeah, you should be very glad, Jills. The northern hemisphere is down bad right now. We are struggling. Unless you like the cold, you know, some people really do like the cold. I do not. I survive it because I like Canada and I like Ontario as a province. So I survive it every year, but I hate it. Dave is in Los Angeles. That's awesome. Just a little bit of rain. Yeah, I could do with a little bit of rain as long as the temperature's not too cold, you know. In my perfect world, the coldest it should ever get where I want to live is windbreaker weather, you know, or jean jacket weather. That's the coldest it should ever get in my perfect living location. But, you know, Canada, as many problems as there are here, I do love it. I was raised here, and I don't think I could ever move somewhere full time. Oh yeah, nice. So we're getting we're getting rain. So we're gonna be slipping and sliding because it's definitely gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be horrible. We're getting the worst of all worlds. We're getting -30 and we're getting rain. Just a pleasure. I feel like singing the Canadian anthem the Canada anthem right now. Like I should really sing the anthem. I should have a flag behind me because we are just getting blessed by the Canadian weather gods. Oh, Koala and what is it? I think Koala and Dana are going to be in Florida, and so yeah, maybe you guys meet up, have a beer. That's exciting. That's awesome. One day I will be a snowbird. That is my dream. Canada's beautiful spring, summer, fall, and then disappear from the country in the winter. Nice place, nice and warm, and then return to enjoy my country, the Canadian vibe. So this one is it's going really slow. Might take a little while. This might be the last one we run. I might run it at 50 millimeters per second, which is closer to the top end of the speed, but this job might take another 20 minutes. So I think I might just do that. I do want to see what this is going to look like. So I'm sorry if this is a little bit boring and this is like really slow. Jeremy, that's great. I'm excited for you. Very excited for you. Don't worry. Our team is working very hard to get rid of the backlog of long mill orders. You know, obviously we don't have such a large backlog with lasers because we don't get as much orders as a long mill. So we're able to ship a little bit faster. But trust me, guys, the team is working. The team is working. Yeah, I do kind of want to run it one more time because I don't know how the paint or the laser ink is going to react to different speeds and the power. So I do want to test it at 50 millimeters per second, which that one should be super quick, like no longer than 5 minutes. Oh yeah, a lot of machines went out today. At least for the laser, we'll be clearing the queue. I think we're up to January 23rd. So we're only about 10 days of lead time on the laser. I'm not too sure on the long mill, but they are pushing, and I do see machines going out. Okay, so we're a little over a month on the. We're a little over a month on that. Yeah, Jim. All of these are running at 100% power at dip switch 5. I'm more using speed to kind of. Vary power essentially because they are inversely related. You know, if you run a job at 10 millimeters per second and it's too dark, you can just raise the speed. You could lower power or you could do a combination of both. So for me, I like keeping at least one variable consistent and then changing speed sometimes because that kind of gives me a direction of how I want to go, and then I can start to line things up. For long jobs, you don't want to run 100% of the laser at 5 dip switch 5 for like an hour or too long. You don't want to do that too many times because it will slowly degrade the laser. Like most electronics, if you push them to the max and you're just doing that long periods of time, then the excess heat will essentially damage the laser a little bit. It won't just like shut your laser off or anything like that. It just might like lower the lifespan from like maybe 2, 3, 4 years to like maybe a year or two if you're just like using this as a workhorse production, 100% dip switch 5. The laser likes to, but also we did improve our heatsink capabilities with this updated heatsink that should be shipping out. I think it just started to ship out. We did kind of improve that. So, you know, as the time goes on, hopefully you'll be able to push it longer and high at the max power, dip switch 5, 100%. As time goes on, you should be able to. But it is a little bit chilly in this garage, in this workshop. So I'm not too worried about pushing it too much because the ambient temperature is pretty low here. It's not warm inside here. I could turn on heaters and stuff, but I didn't. It's not too bad. So that ambient temperature does lower how high the temperature of the diode and the laser does get. So, that's one benefit for being in the northern hemisphere. You can run your laser at 100% power at dip switch 5 for much longer. Charles, we do have a status page that tells you where you are in the queue. I can pull it up here. So we do have a status page on the website. It is for, you can kind of see where you are in the queue, and it gets updated so that you can kind of see like, oh, 10 orders went out today, so I'm number 20 in the queue. So it is. So this is the extension. It's cnc.com/order-status. And you can just scroll down to the page and you will see kind of the queue. We have an estimate. So right now we are just at about January 6th. So we've shipped up to January 6th. And so you can find your order number in the queue. It's quite a lot, but we are a little less than a month in the queue. So, if your order says completed, that means it did ship out, and you should have got an automated message telling you it shipped out with your tracking number. Yeah, we don't want to BS you. We don't want to waste your time. We kind of want to give you this estimate at the side is kind of a automated kind of estimator, and then it just tells you exactly when the order was placed and your order number, and you can kind of, it might be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but you can kind of count it out and see where you are in the queue. Okay, let's check out Laurel's weeks. So 48101. Let's check that out. 48101. So you are right here. So you are about 20 days into the queue. So we're currently at about January 6th. And you're about January 20th. So you're about 14 days into the queue. So I imagine your long mill should ship in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Jeremy 47635. 47635. So you are January 10th, and we are currently, so you're just about 20th in the queue. Yours should be going out at least by the end of this week, I believe. Yours should be going out end of this week. So you can do the same thing for your LaserBeam orders. So as you can see, we only have about like 20, so we're pretty much caught up. This should update like very soon, but we're pretty much caught up to the 22nd around. So we're about 27 orders in. Yeah, get building your table. Remember, for our US customers and our international customers, you'll have to pay customs. So, sometimes UPS or they'll notify you ahead of time so you can pay online, or that you can call in, or when they knock on the door, you'll be able to pay at the door. We have been working on the back end to kind of eliminate the customs charges based on certain, regulations and things that we've been playing on our side. So you might not even have to deal with any sort of customs, at least for our US customers. All right. We are about halfway done, a little over halfway done. So we got about 10 more minutes. I think I will leave it there, and then I will just clean these up so that we can take a look at the results and we can call it a night. I don't want to take up too much of your time, It'll be about an hour and 15-minute stream. And hopefully we get some cool results, so it gives you guys kind of some inspiration to play with things very similar to laser metal spray. Some people have some good results just using permanent marker and engraving on the permanent marker with metal. Yeah, Jill. So, I know Australia, you guys are down bad because you guys have customs and you guys have very high shipping rates because it's always just hard to get things shipped to Australia. So that's kind of a double whammy for you guys. But you know, hopefully you're enjoying it and it's worth it to you. Yeah, recently we have been playing with some of the tax codes and some of the, you know, the treaty codes with the U.S. So hopefully, you know, we don't, you guys aren't getting charged customs. So we've been playing with a lot of stuff and we've been looking at the back end to kind of get rid of the customs charges because a lot of our stuff is manufactured in Canada. So yeah, this will be the last one. We will continue the metal stream next week with the steel and maybe even some anodized aluminum, but we'll let this finish out because there's about 10 minutes left, and then we're going to be wiping it with some isopropyl alcohol. You know, we're going to get it nice and clean so that we can really see if the ink really bonded, and then we're just going to be doing some scrape testing with a knife to see how resilient the ink is on some brass with this spray. Obviously, you know, it doesn't have to be bulletproof, but we would like it to be so, you know, if you did a project and, you know, somebody scratched it a little bit, it doesn't completely run through the ink and ruin it. That wouldn't, to me, in my personal opinion, that wouldn't be worth it for how expensive this spray is. Although they do say on their website that it is made for higher powered lasers like CO2 lasers and fiber lasers. I do expect it to at least give us, like, you know, serviceable results so that, you know, people can come up with cool projects. But I will give you my honest opinion on it. I'll show you the results before we go. We're at about 67%, so we should have only about 7, 8 minutes left. Sorry guys, I just want to get a video for the Instagram. Just want to get a quick video for the Instagram so that we can share it, so that we can grow this community of live streams, people who are joining us on the live stream. Sorry about that. I hate taking my attention away from you guys, but you know, do want to share the live stream with as many people as possible. Hopefully you guys are getting some benefit from it. Hopefully people are watching it back and kind of just learning, you know, to try new things and how to use Lightburn and G-Sender Edge and things of that nature. So we got another 5 minutes of this project. How are you guys feeling? Who thinks that this is going to come out perfect? Guys, which speed do you think is going to make the most reliable results in terms of, you know, what's the word? How well the ink bonded to the metal. Is it 5 millimeters per second? Is it 10 millimeters per second? Or is it 25 millimeters per second? What speed do you guys think is going to create the best results? Let me know in the chat. We will know in about 5 to 10 minutes. Project finishes in 5. We're going to wipe it down. Let me know which speed you think is going to give you the best results. Is it going to be the super slow speed with the 5? Is it going to be the middle speed with the 10? I'm not 100% sure. I think you will run into some issues, but I think there are ways to kind of optimize your Raspberry Pi to run it. I just don't think it's the most reliable thing, but I'm not 100% sure on that. That would be a great question for the forum, where some of our engineers can pop in, some of our software engineers can pop in and ask you a question. Or if Chris is watching right now, because usually he does pop into the stream, Chris, if you're watching, can G-Sender be run on a Raspberry Pi? Oh, thank you. Eric comes in with the save. He says Pi 400 works great. So we got an answer right there. So the Pi 400 works great with G-Sender. But that'll be a question I can just ask Chris and see what he thinks on it, and see kind of what the official answer is. So next time I can be a little bit more insightful in my answers. But thank you, Eric, for jumping in there and giving Jeremy some info on that. We appreciate it. All right, we are almost done. Guys, place your bets. So Jim, yes, this is the laser attachment for our long mill machine, so you can check that out. We have a product category called lasers. You can check it out. It's $460 Canadian because the American dollar is so great. If you're in the US, it's about $360. It is available right now. Yeah, you can buy it and then you just attach it onto your long mill. So you can buy it with the long mill if you don't have a long mill. You do need a long mill in order to use it. Or if you already have a long mill, you can just purchase it straight from our website. Our lead times are about 2 to 3 weeks at the moment. All right, Jeffrey, 5 millimeters per second. Jill's guess is 5 millimeters per second. Guys, get your bets in. There's only 3 more minutes left in the job. Which speed is going to have the best results? So Jeffrey and Jill's are going with the slowest speed. This one right here, 5 millimeters per second. We also did one at 10 millimeters per second. That was the first job. And Michael says 25. So that's the second job. He thinks the fastest speed is going to give you the best results. I honestly don't know. I don't know how this ink is going to react to speeds. I was kind of just winging it. Jeremy guesses with the 10. Lowell. How do you pronounce that? I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. But Weeks says 10. Jeremy says 10. Michael says 25. And Jills and Jeffrey say 5. My guess is going to be 5, just because that's always what I've known, is that, you know, if you're looking for more depth and more, you know, sting with the laser, you go with the lower speed, which kind of, you know, it's more power, more optical power under it. So guys, I also think it's going to be a 5. That's my guess, but you know, when you're dealing with chemicals and stuff like this, you never really know. Sounds like, oh, low. Awesome. I made things way more complicated than they needed to be. Low. Thank you for joining the stream, Low. Thanks for being part of the chat. Thanks for keeping us all entertained. Thanks for joining. Thanks for kind of being part of the community, because we are building a community here. This live stream is a community, and I appreciate every single one of you guys that join, whether it's for 2 seconds or whether you've watched 1 stream or 2 streams, whether you watch it back on the playback after we went live. I appreciate you all. You guys are the best. You guys are the reason I'm doing this. All right, we are finishing up. So this is the last time to lock in your bets. Lock in your bets. We will be cleaning things up with a little bit of alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, and some shop towel. And we will be cleaning things up here. And then we will be doing a little bit of a scrape test. Yillis, thank you for correcting me. I've been saying Jills this whole entire time. Yillis, thanks to you for correcting me. No, I appreciate being corrected, guys. I think I have a pretty unstandard name. My name is Ikenna. It's Nigerian. My parents are Nigerian. Jim, you can always go to our YouTube channel. If you go to live stream, the live stream tab, there's video, shorts, and live streams. We have all the LaserBeam lives that are saved there forever, so you can watch any one of these back after we go live. Found Found your machines through IDC Craft Channel and love the company story. I'm a developer too and love the open source contributions and great engineering. Thank you so much, Jeremy. That's what caught my eye. I was a maker before I joined this company. I was a product developer before I joined this company. And I just love the style that Andy and Chris ran this company, the open source, the commitment to engineering, the transparency with their customer. It made it very easy for me to join, made it very easy for me to excel at this company. And they gave me the opportunity to design my own product, the laser, and they kind of just keep pushing this industry forward. So I really appreciate all the things that you appreciate about it. I appreciate it. And shouts out to some of our affiliate content creators, IDC Woodcraft, for kind of pushing more customers to join our community. So guys, it is done. We ran the same job 3 times at the same power, but different speeds. So we should get a little bit different outcomes. All right, let's change the view here so you guys can get a better view. So you guys can see the spray itself was white and the actual outcome was black. That's what the can advertised. It was black engraving paint. So let's see how this actually looks when we strip this away, the paint. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of isopropyl. And let's just wipe this all away. Okay. So guys, if you said 10, you were wrong because it completely wiped off. The ink is completely gone with the 10. Let's go on to the next. So guys, I don't know if the isopropyl is too harsh to clean this stuff with, because this stuff is wiping completely off. Okay, so we did get some results out of this. We lost all the color, if I'm being honest. All right. So, only one speed really worked. And that was the second one. So that was 25 millimeters per second. 25 millimeters per second was the best. It is the only one that actually stayed after wiping away the paint. And the other two, you can see, pretty much wiped right off. With the 5 millimeters per second, you can still see, you know, the indent of the ink. But with 25, created the best result. So maybe I should have actually ran it faster. Now let's see with a knife, and let's see how well. So these did not do that well with the scrape test. So you can see at the top here, it did scrape through pretty easily. Winner, Gagnon. Yeah, the 5 still does look pretty cool. I feel like the 5 did more on the actual brass, but it did not keep the ink there. Let's see if we can scrape any of the 5 off. Winner, Gagnon. Yeah, the 5 actually seems to created like something that will last. But this spray is supposed to essentially act like an ink, like this. But it was very easy to scrape that off. So this did not come out that well, if I'm being honest. I'm very disappointed. But it is not the end. I'm going to spend some time between now and the next live stream trying to play with different settings to get the best results. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do next time, Jeremy. I think I want to do 25 to 50 millimeters per second, and I want to run multiple passes, and I want to see what will happen. So the next time I come back here, we will try the steel, and we will try some aluminum, and we will try running it faster. Maybe we'll try one a lot like faster, 25 to 50 millimeters per second, and we'll do multiple passes. And then we'll try one slower, and we'll do multiple passes as well. And we'll see which one fares the best. All right, even though we didn't get the result we wanted, at least we tried. That's what being a maker is all about. That's what the long mill is all about, trying to make cool things. Sometimes we succeed. You know, last week was I liked what we did last week. I call this a success. You know, we were able to engrave the glass. Today was more of a failure, but we have to accept that. We got to play with the settings. We got to try different materials. Got to try multiple passes, and we got to come back in 2 weeks and try to do something that is a success and not a failure. So, guys, you know the deal. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, this evening, wherever you're at, whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, night. I appreciate your time. Thank you for taking the time with me. Thank you for typing in the chat. Hopefully I saved you about $100, but we'll see for sure next week. That was a really expensive scratch-off lotto ticket. And yeah, just know that I appreciate you guys. I will catch you in 2 weeks. Let me check the calendar for the day. I will catch you on the 16th of February, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, if you have any questions or you need help with the laser, send in a ticket on our website, cnc.com. All the laser tickets go directly to me. We can book some time in. We can chat on the phone. You can download TeamViewer. I can hop on your computer, help you with the software. Everybody, you have a good evening. And before you go, please like the video, like the stream, thumbs up. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Josh, Jeremy, Doug, Daniel, Michael, Yillis, Lol, Dana, everybody. We appreciate you. Koala, Jim, Jeffrey, everybody, Eric. I appreciate you. We as a company appreciate you. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. But before you go, smash the like button, hit the like button. We appreciate it. I appreciate you. Wade, we appreciate you. Even if you don't own a long mill, even if you don't have a laser, we still appreciate you. Any type of support, whether it's watching our content, engaging in our content, buying our products, buying our partnered products, buying our accessories, you know, even if you bought just some NEMA 23 motors from us, we appreciate you. So I will catch you in 2 weeks, February the 16th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will continue our journey. I will not stop until I get something that's not a failure on some metal, because that's really cool. And I've always wanted to engrave metal. It's something that we tell people you can't really do with a diode laser. So if we can find a technique that you can actually engrave metal, that's my goal for the next few live streams until we get it. Maybe we'll get it next time, maybe we won't, but that's our goal. So we appreciate you. Hit the like button, and you have yourself a wonderful rest of the day. My name is Ikenna Ofoa with CNC Labs. This is LaserBeam Live number 12. Good night.